Here we are. We're live here for tea for lunch.
Some tea.
Should we have some tea?
Yes,
Why
absolutely.
don't you do the honors first?
Thank you. I already pre-picked mine.
Oh, nice. Let's see what we got here. We always have the worst tea selection. We need to really step up our game.
We need
here.
a remix. It's coffee for lunch.
Oh, I know. Or like matchas at least. Something that's a bit more substantial. No shade to the tea drinkers, but it's just not my thing. But here we are with the full show.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it for the show.
I'll do it for the views. I'll do almost anything for views.
Do you think us just complaining about tea and drinking tea would be viral content?
No, probably not. Okay, well, welcome to Tea for Lunch, a show where we serve up the news you need to know in 15 minutes or less. If you're new here, every week we go live on Instagram at around 12:30 Mountain Standard Time, give or take. You can catch the show live on Instagram, or you can listen to the replay, which is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else that you listen. Today we have a very special guest. Mikenna is here. Mikenna, welcome to the show. Welcome to Arcade. Why don't you tell the people who you are?
Yes, I'm Mikenna. I am joining the Arcade social team as a community manager. I'm so excited. It has been a really fast 2 weeks that I've been here. But yeah, I'm just so stoked to be here. I not too long ago used to be watching Tea for Lunch, like the early episodes, and now I'm on it, so it's crazy. I'm an Arcade fangirl.
Yes, this is your Academy Award speech. I've been watching it, and now I'm on it, and I'm here. You made it.
Full circle.
Well, very happy to have you. This has been your second week, right?
Yeah, my second full week.
How's it been so far?
It has been so fun. The tea is that it is the vibe. It's what I'm feeling right now. I'm very happy to be here.
Nice.
I know we'll get to the Beyoncé song, but it's that one's resonating with me really hard right now.
Okay, I'm excited to talk about that because I feel like the internet is reacting the opposite the way I feel like you're taking it. So let's get into it. Actually, before we do, anything else you want to share about your day?
No, it's a good day. It's a good day. You know what? It's been rainy, but looking forward to just sun on the weekend because that's when the sun matters.
Yeah, that's the most important. I don't care if it's cloudy and rainy every day of the week. I feel like it's also more productive for me personally.
Yeah. I grind more in the rain.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing else I'm missing out on, so I may as well be here working.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get into our first story. As you have probably guessed, it's about Beyoncé. She released her first single in 6 years called Break My Soul. And it's a serious vibe shift from the hustle culture type of, content we're seeing. And it makes points to where we're at culturally, like just over the hustle. So I loved this song, but I'm like such a Beyonce stan that she can do no wrong to me. Like I would listen to her like do anything. Like I'd listen to her like have a cover album, or I'd listen to her like reading her emails. Like I would listen to anything that she wants to put out there. So
yeah.
But I do like the song. What do you think?
I think it is a vibe. I think it's this hustle culture. I think especially for women, we're raised, millennial and Gen Zs, we're raised like if you want to be successful, you have to absolutely grind at it, and we've looked up to this like different status of celebrity and stuff the last 10 or so years. So I think it's sort of like a proclamation of like you can do it, but also like rein it in, or it's do it for yourself, not for anyone else. And that's huge. I saw some male feedback about it, how it's
really?
There's like a Twitter thread of basically men complaining that it's gonna convince women to just not work as hard anymore and stuff. It was very strange. So I think everyone's got an opinion on it, but I think it is a summer bop, and I love that the dance vibes are coming back.
Yeah, the dance vibes are strong. It's interesting because even Drake's album is very dancey, and like Beyonce's new song is super dancey.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see like us going back into that direction. I heard someone, or I saw a post saying that it's like the anthem for the Great Resignation, which is kind of ironic because I'm also seeing comments being like, not Beyonce trying to sell me invisible merch for $50 and also telling me to quit my job. And she's also like a billionaire. So, and she also worked really hard to get where she's at. So I don't know if it's necessarily saying like release your job in terms of like quitting your job, but there's a lot of people out there who have a very strong main character energy who are literally quitting their jobs because they see this Beyonce song as a sign to do that.
Yeah, I also think there's something to say about maybe not taking lyrics like too seriously, but
I do love the memes. I think the memes have been amazing when they're like, Beyonce told me to quit my job, so I'm doing it. Like, it's just, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, I am a fan. It's such a good song, and I can't wait because she's releasing a whole album, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be whenever that comes out, that'll be another tea for lunch
we're
day,
gonna
just
do like
dedicated to Beyonce.
A special edition, like listening party or something, because it's gonna be good.
Yes.
Do you want to bring us into our next story?
Yeah, the next one's a big one. This is the Daily Harvest scandal, the poisoning allegations from their French Lentil and Leek Crumbles. As coming from a PR background, this one makes my blood boil a little with just interest mostly. Yeah, people have taken to Reddit and Twitter over the last month or so to talk about their health issues after eating the leek crumbles. There's no known cause. Some people have had their gallbladders removed. Some people have ended up with $20,000 plus hospital bills. And then Daily Harvest basically just made a post saying this is voluntary. And at one point in their first post, they basically said they accused the people who are getting sick of essentially not cooking their lentils correctly and that being the reason. So it's been interesting to watch. Reddit has blown up over it, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, and what's really interesting to me is that the first time I heard about it is I saw it on TikTok, and a few influencers who received like a PR package with the crumble, they started saying like how sick they got. They were like literally in the hospital with like crazy high toxin levels and liver enzyme levels, and like doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with them. And then because they were the first ones to get it because they were gifted the product, then it was like, you know, distributed to everyone else afterwards and customers, and now they're all seeing the side effects. So it's pretty serious stuff, and it really freaks me out. But it's also intriguing because like you have the brand side, like your marketer hat, like how do you react to something like this?
Yeah.
I agree, like the reaction that Daily Harvest has not been great.
No.
And I mean, it's like a really difficult thing. Like, how can it, like, I don't know, what would you do differently? Like, I do have some sympathy because like it's likely not part of their control. Like they can't even figure out like toxicity reports aren't even flagging anything. They're like in talks with the FDA, so like they're doing the investigation and trying to figure out and trying to get to the bottom of it. But yeah, it's just like they're in such a difficult place. Like,
yeah, I think they came on the defense immediately, and I think that's probably where a lot of the you're not doing anything is coming from. I know that they gave like a $10 credit to the people who had reported illness or either had purchased them, something along those lines, and they're basically saying like $10, but I paid $18,000 in the hospital. So I think they've been a little defensive. I think they're definitely gonna look back on this and have some questions. I even saw last night on Reddit that there are people starting to come forward of being sick from other instances like months ago from like their oats and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see sort of what the fallout of this is over the next few months, but they're staying pretty tight-lipped about it.
Yeah. Do you think they'll bounce back from this, like as a company and as a brand?
This one's pretty big. Like that's a level of sickness that people just won't trust eating the food again. They won't risk it. I really don't think so. And if they do, it'll probably be with a new PR team because the ones handling this one haven't done very well for it.
They have to like change their entire business. But yikes. Okay, we'll continue to watch that story. I'm really interested how that's gonna pan out. Last story for the day, we have some more updates around Facebook/Meta. They launched some new creator monetization tools, which is exciting. Obviously, creators are like the forefront of their focus as they're like building out new features, things like that. So they're adding some more creator monetization tools, starting with the Creator Marketplace on Instagram. And this is where creators can get discovered for potential partnerships. It's much more Instagram specific than a brand collabs manager, which also exists. They're also expanding the Reels Play bonus to more creators. So I don't know if you knew this, but I feel like I want to go down so many rabbit trails here. But Instagram is paying people for like using Reels, and I guess they're expanding that Play bonus to more creators. And then they're also expanding the Facebook Stars creator donation process, which is a virtual currency. It's currently just within the gaming pages, but Reels in certain regions will be eligible to use that soon, which is really exciting. So all of this is like so fascinating to me because literally TikTok did this first. Like the Creator Marketplace, TikTok had that first. Yeah. And we were always like, when we were playing and crashing around in the TikTok Creator Marketplace, we're like, how cool would it be if Instagram had this? Because it's literally a directory of all these amazing creators, like their stats, how much they charge per post, like their niches, like everything is all accessible, and it makes it so easy. You can actually like add money to your credit as a potential like sponsor, and then like work with them within the app. So it's cool that and funny that Instagram is now releasing this too. And same with the Reels Play bonus. Like TikTok did that first. Like they're paying people to use TikTok. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just like more copycat style updates, which I see why they're doing it, but it's also like try to be a bit more original.
Yeah, they didn't even change the name. They literally called it Creator Marketplace, which is also what TikTok's is called.
And I think that just goes to show like TikTok is like setting the new standard for how what tools need to exist for creators and brands who are working with creators. So I don't know, this just makes me think like TikTok is the leader when it comes to all of this stuff, and they're like setting the pace.
Absolutely. What I think is interesting is to see is how this will impact those like third-party platforms that offer you this, when a lot of times with those other platforms to find and source influencers from, you're limited in access to what information they give you with API restrictions. But you go onto the TikTok marketplace and you have everything. You can find them based on the percentage of their followers that are interested in something.
Totally.
So that'll be interesting to see what that does to those tools, and then also how Facebook has it integrated, what it's missing compared to those tools, and if this is something that agencies or creators have interest in using over other platforms. I've worked with influencers before who refuse to use third-party platforms to sign contracts or for that campaign management. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what it does to that influencer brand relationship.
Yeah, more tools the better. It's just like I'm also curious to know like how third-party platforms will react, because they could literally like wipe out a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Which is wild. I would hate to be a founder of one of those companies and just know that like any second if Instagram decides, like my whole business could be gone. Yeah.
I think they for now they have a little bit of a leg up because they've been doing it for a while, but they're going to have to get more creative. And I think there's a point where, Facebook or Meta is going to start blocking them. It's going to get a little gatekeepy, I think. We'll see.
Crazy. Are you in favor of like all the other updates that we've been seeing from Instagram so far?
Yeah, I'm excited to see they announced the one today about making like captioning and closed captioning and captions on video more accessible. And right before this, I saw that if you like record a story now, it'll like auto add captions as like a filter.
Nice.
And there's different ways you can like time the captions on your reels and stuff now, and doing that. And I like that for inclusivity and accessibility. And also I think a lot of people tend to watch reels in feed without sound on in the middle of the day. So I think that's going to be an interesting one to see.
Yeah, Mike always watches reels and TikToks with no sound, and I'm like, do you even get it? Like, does that even connect for you without the music? Because like, it's such a big part of it.
It is. It's interesting. At one point I read a stat that significantly more people watch reels with sound off than they do TikTok.
Interesting.
So TikTok has like a 90+% sound on rate, whereas if you're seeing a reel in feed, you're almost always seeing it muted.
Interesting.
It's very different.
I would confirm that because I don't always turn on my volume for reels, but I always listen to TikTok with like volume up.
Isn't it interesting how we do that though? Like the
It is.
psychology of two apps that have almost, Meta, Instagram, Facebook is like carbon copied TikTok.
Yeah.
And we use them in two completely different ways now.
I think it's really cool. I think it was at the gathering they talked about like TikTok being an entertainment platform and Instagram being a social networking platform, which is so true. Like your expectations for TikTok is to be entertained, while your expectations for Instagram when you're watching it, at least for me, I think this is true, is you're just like trying to catch up on what people are posting.
Absolutely. And I think it was the YouTube report that came out the other day that is considering TikTok a search engine now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's fun. Cool. Well, lots of stuff going on. We'll do our best to keep you all posted, but that is the show for today. Mikenna, great work. Cheers to you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Now that you've wet your palate, go eat something more substantial. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Just the X at the top. Okay. And then
Oh, you got to end it
now.